Welcome back to That Handicapping Show. I'm Claire Novak, joined today by Tom LaMarra. We are on the backside at Churchill Downs, and there has been no busier spot than the barn of Hall of Fame trainer Bob Baffert. Bob has the favorite, American Pharoah, coming out of post 18 in the Derby, and he also has Dortmund, who's the second choice on the morning line. Of course, we will be talking today on the show about the 141st running of the Kentucky Derby presented by Yum Brands. Grade 1, mile and a quarter for the 3-year-olds here at Churchill. And Tom, you and I are both picking against the favorite, but not straying too far from the familiar barn of Bob Baffert.
That is correct. This is probably the best field that I've seen in a long time. There's a lot of ways to go. And, I like the favorites for obvious reasons. They've looked really, really good. But there are a lot of other quality horses in this race, and it all comes down to trip. So you may have to step in it to hit it, but So you and I are both looking at Dortmund as our top choice. The reason that I picked this horse is pretty simple. He has been very battle tested in his races, and he loves to win. I was talking earlier this morning to his jockey, Martin Garcia, and Martin said that every time a horse comes to him, he just digs down deep and finds something more. He doesn't want to let another horse past him. And I really do believe that in the Kentucky Derby, when you're coming down the lane, there's a horse that's going to be on the lead and someone flying, closing. And hopefully, if Dortmund has hit the front turning for home, he'll surge back and he's going to try to win that race with all of his might. I think he's got the right running style. He is a quick horse, but I think he got the lead in the last two races strictly on natural speed, and there wasn't a whole lot of other speed in the races. But he's won here before. He won here last year around one turn. From off the pace, I think he can be placed wherever he needs to be, and I think when he kicks in, he's going to take off.
And Dortmund is a son of 2008 Kentucky Derby winner Big Brown, and everybody believed in his brilliance, and actually we're talking Triple Crown with him. So Dortmund is a pretty cool horse. He's 17 hands tall. He's a really big, impressive, striking horse. So both of us are pretty excited about him and seeing him run. Now, American Pharoah, you have to acknowledge his brilliance and the way that he won the Rebel and the way that he won the Arkansas Derby. It is super impressive. All of his connections say things like they don't know how good he is. He's never been tested. A little bit of a concern for me, but he may be the type of horse who's just so brilliant that nobody can get close to it.
Well, he's looked exceptional. And, he's obviously fast. I think that he can rate if need be. There are a lot of positives here. I think he'll be the favorite, and quite frankly, a worthy favorite. I wouldn't leave him off of my ticket, but as I said, I really like the stablemate a little bit better.
Now, there are some horses in here who are getting overlooked who actually are pretty talented, and maybe another year they'd be a little bit of a lower price, but that's okay. You can make some good money on them potentially. And let's talk about one that you had mentioned, International Star, who is the points leader. And as we mentioned on our preview show, the past 2 years that they've had the Kentucky Derby leaderboard, the points leader has won both Orban, California Chrome. So International Star coming in here for Ken Ramsey. He swept the 3-year-old prep series at Fairgrounds. What do you think about him?
Well, I ran into Ken Ramsey this morning, spoke about the horse. He said the horse is training well. He's on his game. He likes the post position. He thinks that he can be very, very well placed. And if he's in 4th or 5th turning for home, he thinks that the horse has that closing ability to run down some horses. He did say, don't bet the superfecta without using my horse.
Now,
I'm just throwing that out, but we know Ken likes to bet. So.
He does. He's always giving out tips and tickets on his horses. International Star breaks from post 12, and we'll have Miguel Mena in the irons. A couple of horses I'm looking at coming out of Florida would be Upstart and the horse that he ran second to, Materiality, in the Florida Derby. First of all, Materiality, he's never been beaten, but only has 3 starts under his belt. So I'm a little concerned about the lack of experience, but I do think he's a very talented contender, and he won the Florida Derby very nicely for his first graded stakes win and his first grade 1 win. And then you have Upstart, who just was a very hard luck horse in Florida over the winter. He would have won the Fountain of Youth. He finished first and then was disqualified on what I believe is a little bit of a questionable call, and It's a Knockout was put up first. Then you had him come back in the Florida Derby, and there was a little bit of bumping and trouble for him there, and the stewards didn't even take a look at it. So I think that he has been the victim of a couple of bad calls. I do think he's talented. I'm really looking forward to seeing him run.
Yeah, one other horse too, and of course there were many in here that we could talk about, but we've got to limit it, is Firing Line.
Yes.
This is a horse,
Oh, he looks so
has
good.
come the closest to defeating Dortmund twice. Actually, he lost 2 races back-to-back. The winning margin was ahead. He went on to win the Sunland Derby, which I don't think was a great race by many lengths, but it was the way he did it in track record time. He's also got a lot of speed, but I think he can come from off it. And when you're looking at the horses who have come close to Dortmund, he's the one, and you're looking at a great disparity in the win odds on these 2 horses, I think. So I definitely like him as well.
Firing Line has looked phenomenal training over the track here. Now he's looked impressive all winter, all season. He's just a very nice looking horse, but he definitely looks really great out on the track. And another horse who's looked good on the track is Danzig Moon. That's a horse who was the runner-up in the Bluegrass Stakes to Carpe Diem, and people are giving a lot of consideration to Carpe Diem as well. So there's a bunch of horses in here. You could go super deep. You could talk about Al Kabir, who was awesome in the winter. You know, he's definitely a step below some of these other horses, but he could be one who figures. And you know who I'm scared of? Literally scared of, not in the race, just I don't want to be around him, is Tensendur, the runner-up from the Wood Memorial. You've got Wood Memorial winner Frosted in here, but this horse, so mean around the barn, and every time he sees his other horses like Moob Tahij and Firing Line, they're all in the same barn, Fermento, he pins his ears and he snakes his neck out and he's trying to bite them all, and I'm kind of a little scared of him. So he's another one who's in
A
here.
lot to be said for having spirit.
There you go. And
yeah.
you can go very deep into this card, and we would recommend that you check out the full preview of the race, which will be up on bloodhorse.com later. Tom, any closing thoughts on the field, on the Derby?
I think I've run through it, but I really think that you really need to find 1 or 2 horses that you absolutely like and then take it from there. Mine is Dortmund, and the other horse is Firing Line. So.
Alrighty, and Dortmund, I can't disagree with Firing Line. I do really like Upstart, like we said, and we'll put together some of those picks for you, maybe tweet them out, and some pictures of who we think is doing great here at Churchill Downs. As always, we want to thank Equibase for the PPs. Thanks to Hall of Fame trainer Bob Baffert for letting us stand outside of his barn. And as always, thank you for watching That Handicapping Show.